Sometimes the most chilling stories aren't the ones with monsters or villains. They're the ones where someone simply vanishes. One minute they're there alive speaking to you. The next, gone without a sound, without a trace, swallowed by the night itself. Tonight, we explore one of America's most unsettling modern mysteries: the disappearance of Brandon Swanson. It was May 14, 2008, an ordinary spring evening in Marshall, Minnesota. 19-year-old Brandon Swanson had just finished classes at a local community college. That night, he decided to celebrate with friends, visiting a couple of small get-togethers in the nearby towns of Lind and Marshall. Brandon wasn't reckless. He had a few drinks, but friends later said he didn't seem intoxicated. He was known for being responsible, grounded, and cautious, especially when it came to driving. Around midnight, Brandon got into his green Chevy Lumina and began the short drive home to Marshall. But he never made it. Somewhere along the way, Brandon got disoriented. Instead of heading north toward his home, he mistakenly turned west. He found himself on gravel backroads, unfamiliar and poorly lit. At around 1:54 a.m., Brandon called his parents, Brian and Annette Swanson. His car had gotten stuck in a ditch. Frustrated but calm, Brandon asked if they could come pick him up. He assured them he was fine, not hurt, just stranded. It seemed simple enough. A minor inconvenience. Nothing more. Brian and Annette immediately got into their truck and started driving to find him. Brandon described nearby landmarks. He was near Lind, he said. He could see the lights of a town in the distance. But when they arrived where Brandon said he wasn't there. They called him again and again. Each time, Brandon said he could see them, but they couldn't see him. A strange, eerie disconnect grew between them. For nearly 47 minutes, Brandon stayed on the phone with his parents as he decided to leave his car and walk toward the town he thought he saw. He described passing fences and gravel roads. At one point, Brandon told his father, "I'm going to cut across a field." Then, suddenly, mid-conversation, Brandon's voice shouted, "Oh, sh*T." And then silence. The line stayed connected. But no sound came through. Brian and Annette kept calling out to him, hoping, praying, begging. But their son never spoke again. Imagine it. Hearing your child speak one moment, and then nothing. Not knowing if they've fallen, been attacked, or simply disappeared into thin air. The Swansons drove up and down dirt roads, searching frantically, calling his name into the darkness. But Brandon was gone. At dawn, they contacted the police. And that's when the true nightmare began. Chapter 6: The Authorities' Slow Response. At first, the police didn't treat Brandon's disappearance with urgency. They suggested he had probably just wandered off after a night of partying. "He's an adult," they said. "He'll come back." But Brian and Annette knew better. This wasn't like Brandon. Hours turned into a full day, then 2, then 3. Finally, authorities launched a full-scale search, using dogs, helicopters, and foot patrols. They found Brandon's abandoned Chevy Lumina in a ditch, right where he had said it was. But strangely, it was located not near Lind, but between the towns of Taunton and Porter, almost 25 miles away from where he thought he was. He had been completely disoriented, lost in the dark rural maze. Search dogs traced Brandon's scent from his car toward a nearby field, across a gravel road, over grasslands, toward the Yellow Medicine River. Then, The scent stopped. Some believe he might have fallen into the river and drowned. Others think he may have succumbed to the cold night temperatures, or twisted an ankle in the dark and died from exposure. But no body was ever found. No trace. No piece of clothing. No evidence. It was as if Brandon Swanson had simply vanished. The disappearance of Brandon Swanson has inspired numerous theories. Some speculate he fell into the river and was swept away, his body hidden by the current. Others suggest foul play, though no signs point directly to it. Some believe he collapsed from exhaustion or injury in a remote field and was missed during searches. Still others point to the OSH*T moment. Was he startled by an animal? Did he fall down an unseen embankment? Was someone, or something, waiting for him in the dark? The truth remains maddeningly elusive. Out of their grief, Brandon's parents fought for change. They helped push for Minnesota's Brandon's Law in 2009, which requires police to immediately begin investigating missing adults under suspicious circumstances, regardless of age. Because sometimes it isn't about recklessness or a phase. Sometimes it's about life and death. And sometimes it's already too late. Years have passed. Leads have gone cold. The fields remain silent. Every so often, a new search is organized, volunteers combing the vast farmland with hope that something, anything, might be found. A shoe, a phone, a piece of Brandon's life. But the land keeps its secrets. And Brandon Swanson's final words still echo in the ears of those who loved him. OSH*T, and then nothing. Not every story ends with answers. And some, like Brandon's, end with a chilling silence that refuses to fade. May his story remind us that even in the everyday, even in the ordinary, mystery waits just beyond the headlights, and sometimes the night never lets go.